Hello and welcome to episode number 20 of Kit Room. Thank you very much for joining us on this is going out on Saturday, so this lovely Saturday afternoon. We're not recording on Thursday. What? Don't spoil the illusion. Yes, welcome. I hope you're well. And this one's going to be a bit different. We're not talking much on a kit collection as such today, but it's going to be a bit more of a worthy cause to talk about. So, before I ramble on for much longer, if I will throw it over to my guests. Guests, who are you and what do you do in the space of football shirt content?
Hi Ollie, my name's Jayme and one of the co-founders of Football Shirts for Charity.
And I'm Tania and I'm the other co-founder.
We've got both founders. And we can't go any further on before I ask, what are you guys wearing?
Good question. So yeah, I've got a Notts County training top on. Actually underneath it I've got a Notts County shirt, but wasn't sure whether I should be nailing my colours to the mast this early on really, but maybe we'll have a look at that later. This was Curtis Thompson, who was a Notts player a couple of years ago. And he was released by Kevin Nolan, who was the manager at Notts County at the time. And I thought he was a great player, midfielder. We released him in League Two and is now playing centre midfield for Wycombe Wanderers in the Championship. So another great masterstroke by Notts County.
And I've got my Peterborough United training top on. Best city in the world, obviously. And I don't want to reveal what I've gone underneath because it's not football related. So I've disappeared. Look, that was like magic. There you go. Not for the world to see.
The top of the Peterborough badge, I did clock it and I thought it was Rochdale. And their any badge, because I was born in Rochdale. So I do have a couple of Rochdale things knocking about. So I was about to be very happy, but no, we're at war now apparently. So so let's jump into who you are then. So the brains behind football shirts for charity is you two. How did the company come about?
Yeah, so we've been thinking about it for ages, probably up to a couple of years, and life gets in the way of everything and the things you'd like to be doing and so on. And obviously, the same as everybody else, lockdown kind of presented us with a bit of an opportunity. We're both in education, so that the education world has come to a bit of a grinding halt to a certain extent, and it just gave us a little bit of a window to put our heads together and really try and drive this project forward that we perhaps otherwise wouldn't have had. So in the summer last year, we started to make connections with the charities that we wanted to work with. Got to know them really well. They got to know us really well. We sort of pitched our ideas and the project to them, and they loved what we were proposing to do, and it just snowballed from there really. So whilst we were sort of into the back end of the year of launching, if you like, it's been a long time in the planning, so to speak.
Perfect. I've just realised I didn't say what I'm wearing. So if someone is watching this, they're going to be sat here thinking, Ollie, why are you wearing a wetsuit? And Ollie, why are you wearing a carrot? So I will quickly just say I'm currently wearing the AFC B-Dale away shirt for this season. They're sponsored by Heck. And for the last few years, all their shirts have been sausage related. So this is their vegan sausages. And the reason I'm wearing this and these two in the background these are all my charity related football shirts. So this one, procedure of each shirt goes to prostate cancer. This pink one at the back is a Las Palmas Hummel shirt. They were limited edition. It's in the same design as the famous Tottenham Holston Hummel design. It's for cancer research. It's got a pink badge on it as well. And then this one is the Deportivo Guadalajara. Yes, it is a Deportivo Guadalajara 2015 shirt. The rainbow in the middle. Each stripe represents a different charitable cause, and every shirt purchase, a cut of each shirt purchase went to one of the 7 charities. So I've gone all charity today.
Amazing.
Let's find out about you two more before going more into what you do. So what was your introductions to football?
So when I was younger, we were actually living in Germany because my dad was in the army. So when we used to come back to England for a couple of weeks at a time, specifically at Christmas mainly, Boxing Day used to be a really big tradition to go and find a football match wherever Peterborough were playing normally. And that's something that Dad and I did for a number of years, and then started bringing other people in the family along too. So that was a special connection. And then wherever we lived, we always watched football whenever we could as well. So yeah, for a long time really. But my dad's really Man City and Peterborough. I'll put that out there now. But I'm Peterborough United through and through. So yeah, that's me.
Yes. So I grew up in Nottingham. One side of the river you're red, and the other side you're black and white. And yeah, it was a really difficult time being a young lad. Forest were winning the European Cup at the time. So, I got 99% of my classmates were red. So I got a lot of stick, but sort of, traditions, family, dad, granddad, and on we go, have always been black and white. So I got taken to Meadow Lane. Was an Ots fan from the first, moment, as a lot of people are, that magic and that feeling of stepping in the ground and it overwhelming you, and it's suddenly in your blood, isn't it? So that was kind of my experience of becoming a Ots supporter. Had the really good fortune of playing for Notts as a schoolboy and representing the youth team. Got a nasty injury at 17, so I had to change tack, so to speak, but had a reasonable semi-professional career whilst going through university, and I've been a PE teacher ever since. So managed to do both, play football and teach a bit of PE. So yeah, football has been the soundtrack to both of our lives really, from being very, very small.
And you mentioned you were both teachers as well. Is it March now that you're expected to have the kids back in? I've got a sister and a twin who are teachers, so.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so we're feeling for them as well. It's a really great time in terms of professional development, but it's a really time of hard work. So shout out to all the teachers out there. March for the next review, and we'll see, but probably phased reopening I would bet on if you forced me to, but let's see.
I bet you're sick of Joe Wicks now. He's taking your job.
Absolutely, yeah. He's calling himself a PE teacher. He's upset a few PE teachers, I tell you, that's for
sure. So reading your profiles on the website, it looks like you've both lost loved ones to cancer, and I imagine a lot of people who are watching this have done. If not lost it, then have experienced it in their life. I know my partner, her family, it didn't pass from it, but they did have cancer. I don't think anyone in my family have. I'm in the very, very slim minority. As it is, it 1 in 4, I believe, it affects.
1 in 2
1
now.
in 2.
1 in 2. Gee, yeah.
To be affected with cancer are the stats right now. Not hopefully dying from it, but 1 in 2 is the stats as we sit here today. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So that was a real driving force behind setting up Football Shirts for Charity. So what are you guys doing and what can listeners to this do in order to help you and what you're doing?
So, a little bit like you, really, Ollie. It hadn't really touched me that much, if I'm honest. I've worked with lots of special needs kids, and cancer has been in and out, but not close to me. And I can talk about him because his wife's totally on board with what we're doing, and she's happy for me too. A very good friend called Ivan, who I played football with for 20 years. Big, strong lad, rock climber, climbed up unbelievable rock faces and stuff. Just a big, bruiser of a guy. But we used to kick each other at 5-a-side once a week, and crunching tackles and so on. And this guy was a bit of a beast all in. And 18 months ago on Facebook, he just announced that he'd been diagnosed with cancer. And within 12 months, he died. So it was a real smack in the face for me that, this is something that can turn people's lives around pretty much overnight. And it hit me hard, if I'm honest. And I thought, I need and want to do something about this. And wasn't really up for sort of rattling a tin on the high street saying, please donate. It was, what can we do that, A, we're going to get some passion out of ourselves, but also make a difference to our wider community in a way that's going to affect a lot more people with something that, you know, people have got a real affinity for. So marrying the two things together seemed to make a lot of sense. But I also work with a young lad, a young autistic lad, and take him to the care homes, and they're managed by a company that are the other charity that we support, called Sebastian's Action Trust. And not wishing to be all doom and gloom, but it's a really, really it's a venue that just cannot help but dramatically tug on your heartstrings. So the homes are for terminally ill children is the bottom line. And some of the children we've met, some of the staff we've met, some of the stories we've heard, just unbelievable. You know, some of the turmoil that some of the families are going through, it's just, we were thinking long and hard about which charities and how we can make a difference. And if you think of, you know, the numbers we've talked about, 1 in 2 being affected by cancer, and you couple that with terminally ill children, you know, that, wow, I mean, two pretty big charities that we certainly feel we should be supporting and can hopefully make a big difference, you know, with what we're doing. So that's a little bit about the background, really. Does that make a bit of sense?
Yeah, 100%. Wonderful. You speak there about terminally ill children. The charity Bradley Lowry Foundation was popularised through his connection with Jermaine Defoe and everything that Sunderland did, and they've been selling off their shirts quite recently with the patch on for about £10. I own one. I don't know if you guys own one, but they were they were very commonplace in lockdown last year. So I think more people just need to find out about you guys now, and really help you guys out.
Yeah, I think you're you know, the Bradley Lowry story, unbelievable and incredible, and what they've achieved and how they've managed to engage, you know, Jayme and a much wider community has been absolutely amazing. And no disrespect to any of that whatsoever. That'd be an absolutely ridiculous thing to do or say. But there are lots of children that are, you know, in a similar position, lots of families that are going through incredible turmoil that are not slipping under the radar, but are equally as sort of deserving of the community's support and, you know, I mean, the wider community.
And so these care homes that we visit, they really change the end of life for children and their families, and it's an ongoing support as well for them. So they have butterfly days where you can have remembrance activities, and it really is that ongoing support to keep the child's memory alive. So every £1 that we raise will go to one of the 2 good causes that we've mentioned. And yeah, as you can tell, they're really close to our hearts, but also to lots of you out there who will make an amazing difference. So yeah, thank you in advance for anything you do.
And the second charity, while we're talking about charities, I'm trying to think if it's been mentioned already, but what is the other charity?
So Cancer Research UK and the Bobby Moore Fund specifically. So as we said, cancer affects probably now 1 in 2 people. It was 1 in 4, as you said, originally. So when I first started getting into fundraising for Cancer Research UK, which was probably around 1996, it was about 1 in 4. It's moved down now to 1 in 2. So we've all got a part to play in terms of our lifestyle as well. But there are some things that adjust the way your genes are, and the factors you're exposed to mean that you end up being very unlucky and have this experience. And I think cancer as a word is scary enough at whatever stage of life you're at, and the treatments now are absolutely amazing. So the reason I chose to study science and went on to do what I did was exactly because my dad got cancer when I was 16, and he's a really great story in terms of he's a survivor. His treatment was very different then to what it would be now, and so survival rates are improving, but obviously the early detection and the research is really important. So as COVID has affected funding, they are behind where they hope to be at this point, but we know there are lots of scientists doing amazing projects which really do affect the treatment journey that you have, and therefore your chances of survival, which is amazing. So yeah, we really want to raise as much money as we can for both.
And we speak about last year and COVID, and someone who I had on here a couple of weeks ago, Chris, that football shirt guy, Chris. he's changed his name a few times. I think he wants to change it to Chat Shirt Chris. But I think he was diagnosed 2019, and then he was given the all clear sometime last year. And I know you've done some work with him before on Twitter as well. So it's
that moment when he rings that bell on that video is just absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I liked it. I think it was you who responded to it mentioning that, and he responded saying, "Yeah, I cut the video early because it was in floods of tears afterwards."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's find out more about your football shirts for charity. Then we know the idea of why it was set up. When was it set up?
So we've been bouncing the idea around for forever, really. And as I say, lockdown gave us that opportunity to really pin things down. So it was last summer, really, and we had lots of lengthy discussions with Cancer Research UK and particularly the staff at the Bobby Moore Fund, trying to tie in the football theme, and lots of meetings and discussions with the guys at Sebastian's Actions Trust about us supporting them and them supporting us. That all took place in the summer. Whilst we're both in education, our skill set in terms of building websites, etc., are limited. So that was the steep learning curve. That took us a good month just to get a handle on, really. Trying obviously not to outsource because we're trying to make money and not spend money. So we did the graft, if you like, trying to work out what to do and how to best put that out. So we've got a website that we're really, really proud of now, but it's been a bit of a labor of love and still is, as everyone that's got a website out there will know. And we set ourselves a target of October the 1st. So that was our launch day, if you like. And we launched with the massive number of 6 shirts in the shop. So it was, we got to where we wanted to be. What we didn't have was stock. We'd been looking in charity shops and bits and pieces trying to pick up things, but obviously all those were closed. So we'd been scratching around and trying to get bits and pieces. We had a few shirts, but I think you'd have seen our donations appeal that we launched a couple of weeks ago. And the community has been incredible in supporting us and sending us bits and pieces here, there and everywhere. And we'll perhaps come on to that in a little bit more detail. But effectively, to answer your question, it was October the 1st, really. So we're quite young.
No, while you were talking then, I was just quickly loading up the website because you couldn't tell that it's 2 first timers making a website. So you've done well. It's a very well functioning website, and just scrolling through some of the shirts as well. There's some good shirts. So if anyone is after any shirts, I highly recommend checking out this website. It will be in the link of the description because of this video and the podcast. So if you're after a new shirt, then why not have the funds go to a good cause? So how do you source your shirts then? You get donations and stuff, but is there also some spending from yourselves, hunting around eBay and stuff like that?
Yeah, whilst we only launched with 6 shirts actually on the website, we had a few more that we'd sourced from charity shops, to be said, through Facebook Marketplace and through really searching through our own wardrobes and friends and drawing on people that we knew. So we had searched hard, but we knew that it wasn't a long-term stock option. We really looked for other sources now, and that's what we're continuing to do.
If anyone does have some shirts they're getting rid of, be it a disgruntled mother getting rid of their child, their son's or daughter's shirts, which happened to me and many others, but where can they get in touch with yourselves, and where can they send it to yourselves? Where do you want to direct them to?
Brilliant question. So we currently have a pinned tweet with an address on that you can use to get that to us, or if you go on our website, which is www.footballshirtsfc.co.uk, and just fill out the contact us form, and we'll make sure that you can successfully get that to us. If it was non-COVID times, we're happy to come around the country and collect in a normal situation, and we're really, really grateful for people doing what they are doing.
The community's been absolutely amazing, to be honest, Ollie. We're not swimming in shirts by any stretch, but a lot of people off the back of our donations appeal have been unbelievably generous. And there's been 1 shirt in a package, 5 shirts in a package. People have been absolutely amazing, and most of what you see on the website in the shop are donations, and we're sort of doing our best to keep on top of uploading new shirts each week. And but most of what's coming through right now are the donations from the Kit community on Twitter in particular.
And I think it's really important that we thread in at this point. The story behind what's happened to a shirt is really important to us. So it's not that we've gone out just asking people for shirts. We're really interested in what's happened to that shirt before. So you might have seen our hashtag, every shirt has a story. And that's part of really our drive of how football connects people. It reminds you of either matches you've been to or players that have worn that shirt. And we really think those memories stick with that shirt. And then obviously you're passing that on, and what an amazing opportunity for someone else to have then their own story with that shirt. So it's much more for us as a fundamental piece of memorabilia that's going on a journey, if you like, to new people, rather than just like a donation strategy and get shirts out there. So we know people love shirts for different reasons as well. And your charity shirts, they're amazing colours, aren't they? And sometimes it's the colour, sometimes it's the design, sometimes it's a sponsor, and so many stories attached to shirts. So that's what we're really, really into.
I'm very interested in the journey of shirts as well. So the first person I did for this series was Alexander Jason, but I've spoken to a few people down in Australia, and to do some self promo the day that this episode goes out, tonight, Saturday night at 8 p.m. I'm doing a live stream with Alexander Jason and someone else to try and get some cheap shirts. Whatever happens to them, whatever happens to the fate of them shirts, who knows? But so the people who I'm doing it with are down in Australia, and I'm very fascinated to find out. So he came across it was like a 1994 Lazio shirt in some charity shop in Australia. It's like, how has that got there? Well, I want to know why.
Yeah, absolutely. It's bonkers. Our strapline is shirts hold the memories, because we're perhaps a little bit older, but we're hugely passionate about the fact that some of the shirts that people have in their own collections, or even some that are being donated to us, they're 30 and 40 years old, and there's a story attached, whether it's that first shirt they bought in the club shop, or it's the first shirt they were given and wore to the ground, or whatever. There's always some story going on. And as Tania said, hashtag is every shirt has a story, and linked to that every single Sunday we've run a shirt story Sunday feature, which is something we'd love you to join us with, Ollie, if you fancy it. It's literally pick a shirt, send us a photo of you wearing it, and tell us what the shirt story is. And if you look at the hashtag on Twitter, shirt story Sunday, you'll find quite a trail of contributions to that. People like Brian, charity football shirts. He was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't he? Yeah. And the brilliant one last Sunday was an ex-Arsenal female ladies player in a Spurs. Whoops.
Sorry, Lorraine.
She played for Spurs, didn't she?
She did.
And she got an Admiral 80s Spurs shirt on in the picture. It's just superb. So yes, our events that we may come on to in a minute, and our charity work, but threaded through everything is that sort of we absolutely get it and understand the passion of what a football shirt means to the community and means to people.
And we will just reiterate, Spurs are.
Diction to hex sausages if you want, Ollie. We don't mind. You can share your secrets with us.
So my dad's a butcher. So he's not a massive fan of heck, because not that he doesn't like them. I don't know if he's ever had them, but he's got his own sausages. So we will talk about. I was just having a look at the pinned tweet, because of the football shirt community has come together a few times. There was when Kit RoomI and I can't remember who did it with Kit RoomI, but there was the with the Bradley Lowry Foundation. I think they raised £1,200, and then with the shirt with Shirtman and a couple others in the community with Kits for Meals. I think it was £5.
So absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so we do like to come together. So hopefully we can come together with this.
Absolutely.
But you touched on there doing events, and there is the events section on the website. I believe there's one up there at the moment. But what are your future endeavours? What plans have you got?
The one you're right if I speak briefly about the one that's up there now.
Of course.
Yeah. So really, really proud of this, and we really want it to sort of grow and take a hold in the wider football community. And it's a football shirt charity run, and it's hashtag football shirt charity run, and it's a £10 entry, and that's that. For that, what we want people to do is to put on a shirt, and if they want, they can go for a jog. But the sort of USP, if you like, is that there's no pressure to put on a shirt and go for a jog. They could put on a shirt and do a kilometre. They could put on a shirt and do 26 miles. They could put on a shirt and do a bit of yoga in the lounge or a HIIT session or whatever. Or they could not put on a shirt at all and go for a walk with the dog. But the concept is that they're making that contribution to the charities. And we've got what we think is a really lovely medal that we can send them back as a reward and a thank you for doing that. And the real key, if you like, is you choose your team. So you can nominate a team of your choice, and that team earns a point on the league table. So we're really passionate about this. And I think Arsenal are top at the moment. But what we really love about it is it can be literally any team, anywhere whatsoever. So it could be it could be a local under-9s village team. It could be a Sunday side. I've just had a chat with the guys at Caversham about maybe one of their boys joining in and getting Caversham on the league table. It might be a women's team. It might be a non-league side. Literally any team can be nominated, and you can pop on your shirt and represent them, or just nominate them. And then we want this league table to grow and grow and grow. And it'd be amazing. Exeter City won it last year. So we ran it from the day of launch up until December the 18th, the quick 3-month hit. And Exeter City came on board in a big way. And other clubs are getting on board now. Walsall have got on board, Notts County have got on board, and we want other non-league clubs to get on board with it as well. And Exeter City won it quite comfortably in the end, and they've earned themselves a really nice trophy, which we'd hoped to take down there, but obviously this lockdown has stopped us again. But that would probably be couriered down to them now. So as a club, they've won a trophy for their supporters, nominating them as a club, and we really hope that it grows and grows and grows, and we're going to try and launch that even further into the next couple of months. Our current event runs from January the 1st until May the 31st, so still quite a long time for people to join in, but we're hoping it's going to explode.
I'm just looking at the league table, and with Arsenal are top, so it is a definite fantasy league. But there are some good names on there. You got Arsenal, Burnley, Liverpool, but I like Hereford a third. So there's a whole wider range of people. Someone who I recommend getting in touch with in terms of non-league, 1874 Northwich. It's not because I'm from Northwich and that they have great kits, but they're lovely people, and I've had them on the podcast, so I'll maybe message them too.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Give them a nudge. We've just been talking to a ladies team that play in a Sunday league in Cornwall today. They're really keen to come on board. We just want it to be something a little bit unique or something a little bit different, and that it can literally be any club that's represented. It's great. A professional club won it last year, but it'd be amazing if a local non-league side or somebody can get a hold of it and stick themselves above Man City or stick themselves above Arsenal. How cool would that be?
But how the league sits at the moment, City are top. Sorry, wrong league. So what events have you got planned for the future, if any, or is it wait and see what happens with COVID? Because Lord knows, sometime who thought this time last year we'd still be in this position?
Really?
Yeah, so we've been really sensitive to that, but we had lots of ideas pre-COVID anyway on what we'd like to do ambitiously. So those are still very much in the back pocket, if you like, for when the time is right. So we definitely will be doing a black tie event, and we've got some special items to go with that in terms of a proper physical launch as well. So that would be really good fun. We've obviously made the virtual run, as Jayme said, really inclusive, and an opportunity where you can get involved at a time that suits you, doing an activity that suits you. And if you need a motivation, hopefully we've sold it to you and want lots of people involved. But obviously going forward, there'll be different types of events in terms of exercise and football together, maybe a football tournament. We have looked into that. And yeah, a few other things up our sleeve, but we don't want to give too much away too soon.
No spoilers. But I will definitely keep my ear close to the ground in terms of what you're doing. So if anyone else has a desire to get involved in any way, shape or form that they can, what is the best way to do so? Would it be through your Twitter, through the website?
Absolutely. So our website is www.footballshirtsfc.co.uk, and there's loads of information on there, including a really easy page on the events, which you can enter through one click of a button. So do give it a look if you're interested, and lots more detail on our stories as well. And if you want to just talk to us about your shirts and that stories, then that's really brilliant for us, and enter Shirt Story Sunday. And we're always looking for people to take part in that as well. And Twitter is our main kind of socials, but on our homepage of our website, you can access all of our social media platforms. So if it is Twitter that you're looking for, we're at FSFC UK.
Perfect. As I mentioned, all links, and as always, all links will be in description for yourselves, and mine will be at the bottom because who cares about me? So I'm done with questions. But if there's anything else you want to touch on, anything I didn't cover that you'd like covering, then any suggestions?
Yeah, so I think just to emphasise really that we take that process of someone owning a shirt and deciding to part with it, it's a really serious decision to make, and in terms of then trusting us with that shirt to go onwards is a really kind of a thing for us that we treasure. And so when your shirt arrives, you can guarantee that we'll be taking really good care with it and researching it. We have a great time having conversations with lots of other people about your shirts to find out the year, the players, etc. Guaranteed to find it a really good home to go onto. One thing that perhaps we haven't covered is the importance to us of children being involved in these things as well. So I think we all remember as a child getting our first shirt or sweatband or whatever it is in terms of your first match. I've still got my Peterborough scarf from when we were champions. So yeah, special times, special memories. And I think that for us is something that we're really keen on as well. So we have got some shirts for children. We will be putting more on the website shortly, but in addition, you might have seen a young guy called Jack Johnson do a football fun challenge for us, where he did 7 days worth of drills in his garden, which culminated in him doing a top bucket challenge every day, which he smashed up the park, and he's ready and on to his next thing. So if you want to get involved in any way, we're really happy to support you as well. We join football in terms of all aspects of football, but especially football shirts, obviously exercise and events together. And if it's something you're looking to do, then yeah, we'll definitely be your supporters as well.
Yeah, just looking at in terms of what you're selling as well, there's the children's polo shirts, sweatshirts, t-shirts. This is not just shirts. You involved in everything, and I do love a good sweatshirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's not all that many on there, but we want to be a little bit more than just your pure football shirt, if you like. And I think children's is, there are a few people in the community that have got young children and have been putting up pictures of their children wearing this kit and that kit, and we think, yeah, okay, it's probably not a great big deal at the minute, but we want it to be. So, we'll happily accept donations of children's kit, and we'll try and move that forward, and with the profit of that obviously going to our charities as well.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm one of 6, so there was many kits knocking about at one point. Really? I don't know where they've all gone. No,
I know. I think back and cringe about some of the kits I've had that, when you're a nipper, you're not thinking 40 years ahead, are you? It's I've had some stunning kits. I've still got my Notts County kits from when I was 6. Thank goodness they didn't leave the house. But yeah, some of the other shirts I've had, not a clue what happened to them.
I spoke to Gavin Haig the other week, and he's still got some Newcastle shirts from the 80s, from when he was a kid. I'm impressed that they're still together, really, because most of my football shirts didn't really last that long. I liked mud. So that is everything from me. If you just want to reiterate again where people can find you, and any important donation lines, and one other thing, each episode I get the guests to recommend a song. I'm sure you know. So I hope you've been doing your homework on what song to pick. So if you want to recommend a song, artist, or album, then please do now.
Amazing. So we were thinking about which chants were a bit unique to our football club. So you might be familiar with the Wheelbarrow song at Notts County. It's a very, very quirky. So I'm not gonna burst into a rendition of that. But I'm going to give you. It needs YouTube, but it's a young German group that just appeared called Giant Rooks, and they've done a cover version of the David Bowie track "Life on Mars." And it's just their rhythm guitarist and lead singer, and it is out of this world. If if anybody out there likes their David Bowie, just check it out. I wasn't particularly a massive Bowie fan until the TV series Life on Mars. I don't know whether you saw any of that. You familiar with that?
When I was in personal lockdown after I was hit by a car, it was one of the first shows that I went back and watched.
Well, there you go.
Because they were all on Sky, and I really liked that show.
Check it out and let us know what you think. So Giant Rooks and Life on Mars. Yeah, that's mine.
Perfect.
So the website, if you want to get hold of us, is footballshirtsfc.co.uk. All the information you need is on there. We're really delighted to have you involved, and if as many people can take part in the football shirt charity run as possible, it'd be really amazing to have a few people from the Kit community running. So yeah, join us.
Perfect. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and thank you two for joining me today, this evening. I'm going to reiterate once again that if you are getting rid of any shirts or have one spare, then please do get in contact with them. As I say, description, links, people, words, but you'll be able to get in contact with them quite easily. So please do spare what you can, if you can, and if you can't, then just share the account. Their pinned tweet, marvelous. But yes, thank you for joining us. We will be back. Well, I will be back next week with another episode. Who is? I don't know. When will it be? Who knows? I'll stop talking. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having us, Ollie.
Thanks, Ollie. Take care.
Cheers.